I'll be back in the morning to sign the death certificate.
I was 9. It was 1952, one of the last polio epidemic summers. But I did not die. Long days stretched into weeks, months. I followed the sky through the window. White clouds were heaven, black clouds where the devil lived. I rode an imaginary bike up the wall to Shrivenen, the village where I lived, creating a map of the places I played with my friends on the ceiling tiles.
She'll be dead with the first cold she catches. She'll never walk again.
Reunited with my family after 2 years, I got on with life, but the doubts continued.
Too disabled for the crippled children's school. There's a nice place for children like her by the sea. University? She'll never be employable.
My first summer job was to write the 100-year history of Canada's mental health. Library resources exhausted, I had A.Y. Jackson's huge white pine painting hung upside down in the lobby, and I spent the rest of the summer surveying the visiting dignitaries who noticed. Nobody did. A move to Toronto brought the joy of full-time employment.
You need back surgery. Very risky. If you survive, you've got about 10 years. Without it, 3 years at most.
The 10-year ring presented to employees a decade later signified to me a far greater significance. I loved my job as a psychologist. The children, the families, making a difference in other people's lives. I ventured into advocacy, government committees, writing, publishing, speaking around the world. I delved into art with whatever free time I had. Secured by an active career, a steady income, and the support of family and friends, the adventure-seeking, expeditionary side of my nature began to emerge. The States, the Caribbean, Europe, Holland, and the North Sea. I traveled far and wide. Yet I was, and still am, equally nourished by the majesty and quiet constancy of nature that beckoned me once when I was stilled as a child. Now that I'm reaching the end of my term, past my due date many times over, I want the world to know that life, in its many forms, is a gift to be lived and valued and supported, regardless of circumstance. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. I'll be back in the morning.